Yes, yes. So guess what? We're going to stack and grow. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stack and grow. And this is building wealth one layer at a time. So looking at stacking and grow, I'm going to get to my cheat sheet here. My cheat sheet here. Call it cheat sheet. Uh-oh. Watch it now. Watch it now. Watch me now. Watch me now. Stack and grow. All right. So one, take the time needed. That's important. Rushing leads to what? Mistakes. Patience pays off. You see, mistakes you don't want that to happen to you. All right. Patience pays off every single time. All right. So take the time needed. You see, I heard someone say some time ago that when they hear something that excites them or intrigues them or gets their interest, they sleep on it and see how they feel about it in the morning. Sometimes they may pray about it. They may meditate on it and say, you know what? Let me think about this thing here for a little bit. It may not take you long, but to get yourself in that mind space, of saying, this sounds interesting. You see, we're in an age where it's like a microwave mentality that's taking root in people's lives. They want it so fast that they're not spending the time needed. The small little time can make such a difference. All right. And sometimes you don't want to go ahead and say too much too fast to the wrong persons because they might discourage you. All right. So it's important to take a little time that you need and kind of think about things that you can put together, put your thoughts together. The thoughts, that's stacking. All right. Here's the evidence. Impulse decisions increase losing what? Exposure. Deliberate planning improve long-term outcomes. That word deliberate, that's a key word. Deliberate planning improves outcomes. Behavioral data over trading. All right. Behavioral data over trading and rushing decisions lead to market underperformance. All right. That's number one. Number two is this: test and see if it fits. Align ensures long term sustainability. All right. So test and see if it fits. Alignment ensures long term stability. You have to be in alignment, all right, with yourself, with what you're testing, all right, and make sure that you have a connection. A lot of times, folks do things that are they're not passionate about. They're driven by money. I give an example. Say someone has a YouTube channel and is growing to where now they're getting advertisers and sponsors. And someone say, "Listen to me. If you eat chicken, I'll give you X amount of money every month or every week or every whatever it is." You say now, "Okay, I eat all the chicken I want to eat. Give me the chicken. Give me that chicken. I eat it all day for that money." And after the first week or month, you're tired of chicken. You're tired of the chicken. Now, guess what happened? You sign an agreement saying you will eat chicken in every show. Where do you go from there? You weren't thinking far enough because you kind of were in alignment with what you really would have liked or passionate about. Because when you're passionate about something, you do it all day, every day, even sometimes without even pay, because it's a passion. What's the evidence for that? You have over 60% of failed ventures collapse due to what? Misalignment. Business that fits the founder are statistically more likely to last 3 to 5 years. So you gotta find your fit. Some of you may be more hands-on. All right. I remember I did a list some years ago and I was saying that once you do a list of what you don't want in business, someone say, I don't want to recruit. I don't want to recruit nobody. I don't want to sell products, um in physical products to people. right? Some say I don't want to make a list of 50 people, like I've heard before. Some say I don't want to do lotions and potions. Some may say I don't want to have to meet weekly quotas or monthly quotas. I don't want that regimen. I don't want to pay a high monthly auditorship. I don't want that either. I don't want to have to deal with these rigid regimen. And guess what happened? I, who have been in the online space for so many years, and I tried the lotions, potions, pills, and thrills, realized that there's a better way. And because I found a better way, I say, come and join me because now all of what you don't want to do, you don't have to do it here because of what this is that you're about to experience. So if you say, I don't like to recruit, well, welcome home. I don't like these weekly regimen, welcome home. You know what? I'm like 40, 50, 60. I don't really understand this techie age. Welcome home. Is it user friendly? Welcome home. You see? So those are things that I realized that I posted us saying these things and speaking these things. I said, let me just present these things so people can get it. All right. Sometimes folks may have to hear something two or three, four times before they understand. Oh, that's what he was saying, or that's what she was saying. No, I get it. So some things is worth saying over and over again because you have new people listening. You have people who didn't listen the first time keenly enough, and the second, third, fourth time, boom, they get it. All right, then they take action. The third is take action. All right, the risk is real, but the reward is worth it. So a lot of folks say, I don't like to take risk. But I say to you, do you live in a house? That's the risk. Do you light a stove? That's a risk. Do you drive in a car? That's a risk. Do you go to work? That's a risk. Every move you make, that's a risk. You go to sleep at night, that's a risk. Many folks went to bed last night and didn't wake up this morning. I had a procedure done recently, and they put me to sleep. That was a risk. So they had me sign my name saying, just in case something happens to you when they go under, can't blame us. You're taking that risk. So we're talking small risk, manageable risk, nothing crazy, nothing too wild, right? And things that are super friendly and easy to get going. That's what I'm talking about here. All right. And we look at taking action. Here's the evidence. Calculated risk taken is correlated with what? Higher income growth over time. Calculated risk taken is correlated with higher income growth over time. Delaying action, fear based, opportunity, cost, and stagnation. So I did mention fear earlier on, and a lot of us have fear, and it's really not necessary. All right. But the thing is that as I speak, I find that my heart doesn't beat desperation anymore. It doesn't beat, oh, will they listen or will they not listen? It doesn't beat those beats anymore. I just be myself and I'll connect with who I need to connect with. Those who know and feel that I was the level of vibration or equilibrium or alignment, they will naturally flow and it'll be a goal for both parties involved here. And that's my excitement about it. It's not about trying to be some kind of superhero, some kind of what I'm saying, with some kind of genius or guru. It's just me being me. And I think that's what I want to relate to you. And hopefully you'll find value, like I said, in what I do. Now, working in the educational sector gave me what? A bit of security, I must admit. Steady paycheck, coverage, medical coverage, which is important for me and my family. All right. And, the comfort of some stability. Right? Because the job world is not that stable anymore, right? These days, it's like you got to watch yourself because a lot can happen very fast. And what you had today is no more there tomorrow. So, yes, stability is important, all right? Especially when responsibilities are involved. It's very important. But let's be honest, stability without growth, that to me is stagnation. All right. And it's nice when you can have a job, but you're working towards leaving the job. You're working towards leaving that situation and transition into something that's powerful, that's more fulfilling, that's more purposeful. You know, um, with the rising cost of what living these days, look at what's going on. It's outpacing our income. All right. I knew I needed more than just a safety net. All right. I did. I wasn't chasing shortcuts on realistic promises. I wanted something practical, sustainable, right? And scalable. Very sustainable and scalable, very important. Something that wouldn't require a PhD in tech or endless hours of my day. Who wants that? Right? Something I could stack and grow layer by layer so my income would just sit in one stream. It wouldn't sit in one stream. It would not stay in one stream at all, right? But it will flow in multiple direction. I believe I forgot his name. I believe it was Warren Buffett say one have at least seven income streams. All right, it's important to have seven income streams. Sometimes we're looking for that big lump sum, and that's why you see the lotto makes so much millions of dollars, millions and millions, because folks sells every day that $1, hoping they will hit that $1, hoping they will hit for years, because they want that big lump sum. But sometimes in life, if there are ways to start off small and stack it up and scale it up, then it's a win-win for you, a win-win for you every time. So imagine the freedom that comes with what? Come with consistent additional income. Imagine the freedom. I'm gonna say this because it's very important that I say this to you. We know that in the last year, we've seen over 400,000 Black women lose their jobs. All right, that's a scary number, and these are mainly government jobs, federal jobs. Over 400,000, if I'm correct, or maybe close to it. All right. When I'm talking about the other races, that who lost the jobs, or I mean the other nationalities. I mean it is one race, right? The human race, but other nationalities. When I'm talking about those numbers, or the males who lost their jobs, and we talk about AI, who have caused over a million jobs to be lost, and more are going to be lost as time goes on. So look at that alone. Look at that number. I feel that like I said earlier, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor that way. I'm not a prophet that way. I'm not a political figure. But I feel that if I can spread the word here on this platform, and folks can spread the word in their area, where you can start something, and in 2 3 years you can retire. That's powerful. Think about it. Where were you 3 years ago? If someone told you 3 years ago that you could retire in 3 years, would you believe them? Would you have started that journey? But look at what happened in 3 years, and look at what can happen in 3 years from now if you don't make certain decisions now. Look at what can happen in 3 years from now. It's going by real fast, folks. And right now, we're talking about changing your life within 3 years from now. And retire really means that you may love your job. You may want to work there longer, which is fine, but you can retire if you want to. You have that option, you have that choice, right? It's a good feeling. Some people have jobs, and when they're mistreated, they go in the bathroom and cry it off, and they find ways to get around it, and they're hurting day after day, week after week, month after month, but they rely so much on that paycheck or that medical thing because they have no other ways. All right. And we see that having option, man, it's a beautiful thing. So that's one way. All right. We're not talking stocks here necessarily so because people get into stocks and these things for long term. Could be 20 years from now, 15 years from now, which is wonderful. Some people do insurance, right? And when they pass on, their family can have something to build on. That's a different thing. We're talking about now. We can change our lives, have vacations, help someone, support our favorite charity. All right, do some things that we'd love to do while we have our strength. We're not old and and can all to move. So that's where I'm at, and that's why I want to appeal to those people who are looking for that kind of a life and options. So you want to have multiple income streams, and you rid yourself of the financial pressures that we often face. Um, the thing is that I mentioned passive income, and you may ask, what is passive income? What's that about? It's getting money or making money. Could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be monthly. All right. For me, it wasn't just money. To be frank with you, it wasn't just about money. It was about freedom. It was empowerment. It was confidence. It was options, as I mentioned a while ago. And while many people think this kind of income is out of reach, I got good news. I'm not going to preach. All right. But the truth is that it's accessible. It can be reached. All right. You just need the right guidance. All right. You need a strategy. You need an approach that works. And those are things that makes the difference. You need something strategic, strategies. All right. And you find that, oh my God, it was easier than I thought. It wasn't as difficult. So these are effective measures that we can take. One, we take the time needed. All right. Time to plan, time to rest. I remember days when I was working two jobs. I had a full-time job and I had a part-time job. And I'm trying to do the music at the same time. And I find that I was getting burnt out. And I was like, I came to a point where I said, I have to make a decision here. Do I want to have this kind of a schedule where I'm feeling so tired? So I'm working sometimes from 8 to maybe 3, and then I work from 5 to like 2, 5 to 12. And I'm feeling like, oh man, this got to be a better way. All right. And so I decided to make a change. And it was one of the best decisions I made. I took a risk on my music. I said, you know what, let me just focus on that because it doesn't take too much of my time. And then it does give the kind of finances that really is helpful, better than the actual part-time job. And I'm not dealing with these unprofessional individuals, who have a little position and they want to treat you like you're nobody. All right. I didn't have to deal with that kind of situation. And then on my gigs, I'm treated very nicely. Sometimes I get to eat, drink what I want. If I need parking, they pay for my parking sometimes. And so it felt good. It was like something called self actualization. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about your situation. And it feels really nice to do something that I love, passionate about, and getting paid for it. Yes. So I had to leave that job that seemed more secure and more sure, but it wouldn't benefit me emotionally or financially or physically the way that it should. So a lot of us right now, we have a second job that we wish we could change or wish we could get rid of and focus on one for now. And some of us, we want to do full time our own thing, and that will happen too. Right? That's why you're here, and we're gonna make it happen for you because as long as you're willing to open yourself, as long as you're willing to say, you know what, I will take that step. I will make a decision. I will take action. Watch what happens to you. You're gonna be amazed as to what happened. All right. Second thing is that you want to what, test and see if it fits. All right. So alignment again ensures long-term sustainability. Alignment ensures long-term sustainability. All right. So you have testimonies of what you do. You make sure that you have those things down. Don't despise those. All right. Things that you may think that's not necessary. Something that you learn. Write things down. Keep a note of things. Very important. All right. And sometimes do comparison. All right. And watch things over time. And you can say, you know what? I can take this direction. I could take that direction. I can combine these two things. All right. But you're testing, you're open, you're pliable. You're not, it doesn't work. So everything doesn't work. Too many times people say nothing works because one thing didn't work for them. You know, the folks I meet now, and I would say, how about this program? And say, well, oh, one of those programs. That's the wrong mindset. They haven't even seen it yet, but it's saying, oh, it's one of those things. Or all these things that work. And they miss out their blessing. So that's a very important thing for you to understand. Also, you want to take action. Oh, that's a big one. All right. Now, think about an action. Think about your first time you decide to get your Facebook account, when you saw it advertised, or your LinkedIn account. Think about when you decide to get your first YouTube account. All right. Something that you never thought you would, or maybe a smart device. Many of us, we're coming from the age where we had those old Stone Age kind of phones, you know what I mean? The flip ones where it just kind of text and talk. And when the more advanced phone called smartphones came out, we're like, I don't know, it's too much, and that kind of thing. All of a sudden you say, let me try this phone here. I remember when I first saw the swipe, the screen, we could touch and swipe on the screen to get what you wanted. I resisted that thing. I said, no, I like my button. I want to press something. I want to feel something pressing in my hands. And I'm like, the guy said, you're going to like it better. I said, no, I want my phone that I can press. And when I tried my first phone, my first smartphone, I said, oh man, I was missing out here. I was missing out here. I remember when they had the earpods, and I was just using the wire. I said, I like my wire, man. I like my wire. And they kept breaking, popping, and oh my gosh, and tied up and all the kind of fancy stuff. When I finally got my earbuds, I'm like, wait a minute here. The freedom, the flexibility. I'm running on the track. I'm doing exercise. I'm driving, and don't have the wire there that's constraining me, that's restricting me. So you try something. You take that step. For you, might be something different. All right. Some of you, maybe you've been partying all your life, partying and doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing. And you say, you know what? I'm gonna go to church and see what happens. I'm gonna try something different. So you walk into a church, your life is now changed. You're like, wow, I was missing out so much. So in life, there are many things that we have to try. Take action. And that's what we're about here. I made a statement last week on my first podcast. I said, you know what? We either grow or go. Here, we either grow or we go. All right. So yes. So taking action, we know, is a very important thing.
If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube @Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey: music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.